Hello, my name is Pumpkin Fluff, and I'm going to be casting the North American Academy League Series for the Spring Split in 2018. This is Week 1, Match 5, Echo Fox Academy versus Clutch Gaming Academy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters for these two teams. For Echo Fox Academy, in the top lane is Alarim. In the jungle, it is the Odd Orange. Demonte is their mid laner. Lost is AD carry, and Papa Chow for their support. On Clutch Gaming Academy's side, Max Trobo is in the top lane, Moon as the jungler, Sun as the mid laner, Eclipse as the AD carry, and Vulcan as his support. First off, I want to talk about Clutch Gaming's roster. I really like the names, Moon, Sun, and Eclipse. They had a little bit of fun with that. Talking about their roster, though, in a little bit more detail, Max Trobo hasn't done a whole lot of play in competitive. He used to be a sub for Tempo Storm last year. Moon was playing on FlyQuest last year as a jungler with Hai as his mid laner. He was able to get a lot of good pressure off early into the games, and him and Hai were usually able to take over the games that they won. Sun used to be known as Des X. He recently renamed, and he hasn't played a whole lot of competitive. I don't know much about him. Eclipse used to be known as Ash. The first time I saw him was in the scouting grounds this past year, and he kind of made a name for himself there. I believe he was one of the early pickups, one of the better looking AD carries at the event. And Vulcan hasn't played a whole lot of competitive, but he was another player picked up from the scouting grounds. On the side of Echo Fox Academy, Alarim and Papa Chow have both been in the challenger scene for a while. I don't know a whole lot about them other than that, though. The Odd Orange hasn't done a whole lot of competitive play. However, he is always in the high ranks of solo queue and is seen on a lot of people's streams. Demonte used to be the mid laner for Echo Fox. He was a sub under Froggen, although he did start a few games. He didn't make a huge splash for himself, but he didn't exactly do poorly either. And Lost is actually coming over from Oceania. He played in the OPL for Legacy Esports. So I'm excited to see what Lost can bring to the team, as well as Demonte, both of them having a little bit more experience in competitive, as well as seeing how Moon and Sun work together. Let's go ahead and take a look at the match itself. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into game. We aren't able to see the picks and bans for this game, but we can go ahead and talk about the picks that are here. For Alorum in the top lane, he has Ornn. Odd Orange is on Jarvan in the jungle. Demonte has picked LeBlanc in the mid lane. Lost is on the Kog'Maw with Papa Chow on Alistar for support. On the other side for Clutch Gaming Academy, Vladimir is in the top lane, Moon is in the jungle on Rengar, Azir is the mid laner for Sun, Tristana is the AD carry, and Braum is the support. Taking a look at these two matchups, the pick that stands out to me the most is the LeBlanc for Demonte. And looking at the team that he's decided to pick this into, I'm a little concerned about how well he's going to do. Azir's able to shuffle out of anything LeBlanc wants to do. Tristana can jump away from her. And Rengar has his W and Vlad has the pool. It's going to be a really difficult time for LeBlanc to actually find any picks onto the Clutch Gaming Academy team. However, they do have Kog'Maw and Alistar who can start fights and do a lot of damage once Kog'Maw hits his power spikes. The Odd Orange is on the Jarvan, which is a great team fighting pick as well. Sounds like our sound is weird. I can't do anything about it because this is all I have is Riot's YouTube video. So we're just going to have to deal with it if it is a little strange. Jarvan is really good. Earlier in the game, he's probably going to put a little bit more pressure than the Rengar will. Looks like Sun's already been chunked out here in the mid lane, but he took a pretty even trade against Demonte. They're both going to be able to heal that up, so it should be fine for both of them. Rengar's going to want to look to farm until 6 pretty much, and then he's going to look for ganks. He can have a little bit of early pressure if he finds Jarvan in the jungle, but barring that, he really just wants to farm up until he reaches his ultimate point at level 6. Looks like he might be looking to invade on this Watson jungle or have an early gank onto the bottom lane. Lost and Papa Chow are pushing up a little bit. Let's see if that actually turns into something. Rengar is going in here on the bottom lane. We don't actually get to see it, so I'm a little confused about what's happening down there. Looks like nothing's actually going to happen. The Ignite was blown on the Alistar for Papa Chow, and Moon did have to flash out of there. So overall, not a great gank for Moon, actually losing his flash early on into the game. It's going to be a while before he can actually try and find another gank on the map without that flash. Looking here in the top lane, the Vladimir against the Ornn. Vlad is going to have a good time in this matchup. He can pretty much just shove in Ornn for free and make Ornn clear the waves under his turret while Vlad gets to scale into a late game monster, really. Going for that Frost Queen's Claim, he's going to hit his power spikes a little bit earlier with that extra gold income generated from the item. Moon's coming in, he throws out the bola a little bit early. He's not really doing much on this pick so far. He's losing a lot of farm in his jungle compared to what Auto Orange is doing on his Jarvan. Sorry, that noise is throwing me off. Papa Chow does try and jump in onto the Braum and Tristana. Tristana takes quite a bit of damage from that trade, but nothing really comes from it. No summoner spells are blown. Just a trade in favor of the Fox Academy bottom lane. Looking at it, it's pretty even in the bottom lane. Both of these AD carries and their supports all took relic shields, so they're just looking to scale up until they can hit their item power spikes and really become monsters later into the game. Both of these AD carries are hyper-scaling AD carries, and should do fine once the game comes later. Auto Orange jumps in on the Sun. Sun is taking quite a bit of damage, but still has his flash and heal. Won't have to blow either of those, and it looks like he's going to be able to walk away from this game pretty much clean. I think that this game is really going to be determined by who gets an early lead, whether it's going to be the LeBlanc or the Rengar. Both these teams have fairly similar comps, with an Assassin going into a pick comp. LeBlanc wants to look for picks as well as the Rengar looking for picks. They both have somewhat tanky top laners, scaling AD carries, and tanks in the support, with team fighters for Fox Academy in the jungle and for Clutch Gaming in the mid lane. So really, I think it's going to be determined by the Assassins. If either of them can get off the ground, who's really going to take the advantage in this game. If not, I think that the scaling probably favors Clutch Academy, as Alarum goes in for a trade here on the Max Trobo. The Vladimir's not really going to care. He's able to easily heal up off this minion wave. Nothing's going to come from that. They're just both going to sit up here and scale for a while, although arguably the Vlad scales better with damage, although the Ornn will scale more with tanks and having that CC for his team. It looks like LeBlanc teleported back to mid lane to keep up the pressure on Azir. She's out farming him pretty heavily right now, with that help from Odd Orange coming in from the jungle. Although they weren't able to blow any summoner spells, it put enough pressure on the Sun where he had to go back and lose quite a bit of his minion waves. Looks like Moon was trying for something here in the top lane to gank onto the Ornn, but that fizzled out into nothing. Seems like a very hard place to gank in the first place, given that Vlad doesn't have any hard CC, and all Rengar has is the root, but the Ornn can just make himself unstoppable and get out of that pretty much for free. So far, both of these teams are just farming up fairly evenly. Like I said, there's a small CS lead for LeBlanc in the mid lane, but Azir was able to close up quite a bit of that gap. Jarvan's farming a little bit better in the jungle than Moon, but he's able to catch up a lot from his deficit that he had just a few minutes ago. taking a look at the vision, it looks like Fox Academy actually has more vision control here in the river, which will be good for them, as the first dragon is going to be that fire dragon. If they're able to keep control of the river for a few more minutes and get pressure down towards the bottom side of the map, they'll look to take that early dragon. They will have to be worried, however, for these early team fights, because Rengar is going to be a monster early in the game once he hits 6. That's really where he shines as a champion, so on those early power spikes. So we'll have to see if Fox Academy really wants to take the fight there at the dragon coming up in a few minutes. And it looks like Clutch Academy is focusing more on their top side of the map. Damonte goes in onto Sun. Sun uses the ultimate to throw him back out. The Jarvan ult comes in. Sun flashes out, but he goes down. Damonte uses his stopwatch to see if Moon's able to pick this up or if he's going to die. He does pick up the kill, and it looks like he might be able to walk out of here. Overall, an even trade in the mid lane. Both mid laners going down. Both junglers using their flashes, as well as both mid laners having to use all of their summoner spells. So yeah, overall even trade, although I have to say it probably favors the LeBlanc, as the earlier she gets off the ground, the more pressure she's going to be able to put on the map, especially considering her roaming potential and her ability to go affect the side lanes. Looks like Max Trobo is taking quite a bit of damage here in the bottom lane. The Ignite comes down for Ornn. Max Trobo does throw out the Hemo Plague. He pulls away from the Ornn ult. Looks like he's going to be able to walk away from this, or maybe not. Alarum takes the kill, just autos him down with that W passive. Moon comes in, and it looks like he blew his ult on that, which is not the greatest use of that first Rengar ult. Down in the bottom lane, it looks like they're trying to fight here. Lost and Papa Chow are taking the advantage, getting quite a bit of damage onto Tristana, and it looks like they're going to shove them away from the turret and maybe pick up a little bit of a CS lead here for themselves. Overall, really good play in the top lane. Alarum just able to get that solo kill onto the Vladimir. That's one of the things that Vladimir has to worry about, is that Ornn damage is kind of unexpected. Now that Fox took that kill in the top lane, they had the teleport advantage, so that they knew they could take this dragon even if they didn't have a huge advantage in the bottom lane. Really good pickup from them, all of that snowballing off of that solo kill in the top lane. So really good on Alarum, able to pick up that advantage. Looks like they're clearing out vision here in the jungle. They know that this blue buff, no, the blue buff was just taken, so they're not going to be able to steal that away from Clutch Gaming Academy. And it looks like they're just having vision for maybe later in the future if Damonte wants to look for a pick at this point. Max Trobo will have to be careful up here in the top lane until he scales a little bit more and gets some health under his belt. Like I was saying, that Ornn damage is kind of surprising if you're not expecting it, especially with him taking Ignite, having that summoner spellbook. It looks like there's a fight going on near the mid lane. A lot of pings coming out. I don't actually get to see the fight. Looks like everyone's going to escape just fine. Damonte took quite a bit of damage from, I believe it was Moon. He should be fine. The knockup comes in onto Max Trobo. But again, Vladimir should be able to heal this up as long as he is taking the longer fights and not trying to burst down the Ornn. Sun's getting quite a bit of damage onto Damonte. Damonte does pop the Q, and the ultimate came out from Azir very late. I'm not sure if he thought that Moon was on the enemy team or what he was doing there. Maybe he was expecting the LeBlanc to jump back in on him and finish the kill. Either way, the Azir ult is out. Damonte's getting some really good damage onto the Azir. So, good for him. He's able to pressure this lane. He does have about a 15 CS lead for himself, which is really good on the side of Fox Academy. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this game is going to focus around which of these two assassins can really get ahead. And although Moon does have a kill, I believe the LeBlanc is in a better spot, having the assist and the gold lead. So we'll see if they're going to be able to snowball that advantage and keep looking for picks later into this game. Up here in the top lane, both of these people are just farming. Alarum wants to go in onto Max Trobo again, but he doesn't quite have the damage this time. And again, if it's a longer trade, It's going to favor the Vladimir here as he's going to be able to heal it up. He does pull away. It looks like Alarim's going for the solo kill. He knocks him up. The Ignite comes down. Max Trobo pops the stopwatch, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He flashes away, and he does get the heal off right as the Ignite wears out. Very good on Max Trobo to survive that, but again, he needs to start being a little bit more careful in that lane, knowing the damage that this Ornn can put out. Looks like Damonte's going back in onto Sun, and Sun is having a hard time dealing with this LeBlanc damage. Max Trobo's up here. Looks like Moon's coming in for a gank onto Alarim. Alarim is able to pop his own stopwatch. Let's see if they can get enough damage onto this tanky Ornn. They're going for the dive under the tower. Moon's taking a lot of turret damage, and I think he might actually go down here. It is. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane. So it's really good on Alarim to be able to pick up that trade kill. Again, I don't think that's the best lane for Moon to be looking for. He can snowball the Vladimir ahead, but Vladimir should be able to naturally do that on his own as well as he... Sorry, there's a gank going on here in the bottom lane. Eclipse barely lives through that damage. He's able to ult the Jarvan out. Max Trobo teleports down here. Papa Chow is taking a lot of damage from the turret, but he does have that Alistar ult running. He pops the Spooky Ghost to try and slow them down. Auto Orb comes back in. They do pick up another kill into Max Trobo, and it looks like they're going to pick up another one onto this Braum. Sun is here. Let's see if he's able to escape. He is able to get out of there. It's a 2-for-1, or 2-for-0 in favor of Fox Academy, and they're able to pick up this turret. Really good for them having that map play, having the TPs come through, as well as Jarvan being down here on the bottom side of this map. It was a 4v5 overall with Moon unable to join. So with the numbers advantage, Fox Academy pulls off a beautiful dive. Really handling that turret aggro well with the Alistar ult. Able to pick up 2 kills and that turret. That puts them about a 2,000 gold lead into this game early on, which is a great spot for Fox Academy to be in. Looks like Moon is looking for something here in this mid lane. LeBlanc's hanging off to the side, playing pretty far back. She might be expecting this as they haven't seen Moon on the map for a while. Pings are coming out. Damonte jumps forward, and it looks like he might have gotten himself into a bad situation. He has to flash out, but Papa's Chow is coming here as well as Auto Orb on the side. The Ornn ult comes out from Alarim. They knock up Moon, and it looks like he's going to go down. Kog'Maw actually picks up that kill as he moves in from the bottom lane. Again, really good map movements and team coordination on the side of Echo Fox Academy, able to have more people in place before Clutch Gaming is able to. I think this really speaks to Echo Fox's communication abilities, and they know where they want to make plays. Very good, decisive moves for them in order to be able to create these advantages for themselves. Looks like Eclipse is going to jump and use his ultimate to escape from Damonte here. He has to use his flash to get away from the odd orange ultimate. But it looks like he will be safe for now, although not having that flash is going to be very difficult against this LeBlanc, who is picking up quite a few assists. She's able to steal away that blue buff from Clutch Gaming's jungle. So very good onto them. Sorry, this camera movement is somewhat distracting me here. It looks... Okay. Sorry. So, LeBlanc is getting herself into a pretty good position. She has already picked up that Gunblade, which is a pretty big power spike for her that's going to be able to help her catch out the Tristana here later into the game. With that blue buff, she's going to be able to roam more and clear these waves faster. The ult comes in from Alarim again, and Max Trobo is going to die one more time. He is 1 and 3 on this Vladimir, and keeps getting soloed out by Ornn. At this point, I'm really surprised that he hasn't picked up a more defensive build for himself. That or else started playing a little bit more defensively. Azir takes a lot of damage from Damonte here onto this LeBlanc. She's hitting her power spikes fast, having a full item, whereas Sun only has those Merc Treads and pieces to the Nashor's Tooth. Looks like they're going on to a dive for Moon here. He might be able to get out of here. He jumps back in onto the odd orange, but he has to be careful, knowing that LeBlanc can pretty much dive past this turret. Sun is going to back as he was low, and it looks like DeMonte's trying to get some damage onto this turret. He actually backs off, and there's pings going down onto the Rift Herald. So this might be the objective that they take in reward for chunking out Sun. Really good on DeMonte to be able to keep taking these trades in his advantage. Let's see if he can get a pick here. They are starting to fight. The flash comes out for, not sure who that was. It was Moon flashing out of there. He's not having a great game on this Rengar, not able to snowball himself into a position where he can carry. And once it starts getting later into the game, Rengar's going to have an even harder time. Really, the only person he's going to be able to jump on is this Kog'Maw, but if Alistar's nearby, Kog'Maw's not going to have a problem with it. I am surprised, however. Oh, looks like Eclipse is going to get jumped on. Great jump out with the Buster Shot to disengage that. Good job for him to be able to jump out, but that might be the tower going down in the top lane. It is, without Eclipse there to clear the wave, they're able to pick up that tower. So really good job onto Fox Academy for predicting where Eclipse was going to go and able to stop him from clearing those waves in the top lane. This is a really big advantage coming in for Fox Academy. They're up 4,500 gold at this point into the game, not even 20 minutes in. And they do have some really good champions that can snowball this game. LeBlanc's going to be a terror here really soon. She already is for this Azir. And having the Kog'Maw continue to scale up. It looks like she's going in on the Sun. She pops the chains, gets the root down, and a lot of damage. That's 70% of Sun's health gone. He is going to chug up these potions though, and he should be a little bit healthy, but I think he's still going to have to go back. Odd Orange pops the Rift Herald here in the mid lane, and that's going to be a mid lane tower going down in favor of Fox Academy. This is the last outer turret going down for them. 3 turrets to 0 in favor of Fox Academy. And they're just able to keep snowballing this game off of the damage that DeMonte is putting onto Sun. Sun's not able to hold his own against this LeBlanc, and every time she chunks him out, Fox Academy is able to pick up objective. Looks like they actually got 2 off of that one, the turret and the dragon. And with Baron spawning here in 30 seconds, I imagine Fox Academy is going to look for an early Baron, especially with this massive lead that they already have. Kog'Maw is going to do really good damage against the Baron. LeBlanc doesn't have that great of Baron damage, but she should be fine given how far ahead Fox Academy is. They already have 3 dragons, and one of those being a Mountain Drake means that Baron's going to be even easier for them to take in the future. And it looks like LeBlanc has picked up the needlessly large rod, and she's probably going for a Luden's Echo as her second item, giving even more burst. Tristan is going to have a very hard time if LeBlanc ever gets on top of her, and this Azir is just going to melt to this damage here soon. No one on the side of Clutch Gaming Academy really has any magic resist on them except for those merch treads for the Azir, and we've seen how much damage he's already taking. Looks like Alarum wants to fight Max Trobo again here in the top lane. Nothing's going to come from it. I think Max Trobo's probably at a point where he might be able to survive the Ornn all-in as long as he plays it well and is able to keep getting off his healing. He does have a little bit of cooldown reduction, so he should be able to spam those Qs. It looks like Fox Academy is trying to push out this mid lane and get some vision up in the blue side, or the red side jungle. There's a fight going down here in the bottom lane against these 2 top laners. Alarum does hit the stun. Max Trobo throws down the ultimate and is chasing down Alarum, but Alarum is unstoppable, and this tanky Ornn is not taking a whole lot of damage from Max Trobo. He already has Merc Treads and an Abyssal Mask, so it's going to be really hard for Max Trobo, to really do anything up against this Ornn. Fox Academy does have a lot of vision set up around Baron. If they see anyone out of position on the map, I expect them to quickly rush down the objective. Looks like Max Trobo is taking a lot of damage again. He should be able to heal it up, but he's getting pressured in this lane way harder than I think he needs to be. That Ornn's really snowballed his advantage, picking up 3 kills, and now he's able to bully out this Vladimir, which is a great position for Ornn to be in. Jarvan goes in onto Vulcan. Vulcan looks like he might be out of position, but is able to jump back to Moon. Nothing is gained. Looks like a dive might be coming in here onto Azir in the top lane. He doesn't have any of his teammates nearby, and pings are coming down onto him. But it looks like Moon's going to be there to dissuade anything from actually happening, especially if Azir can clear out these waves quickly. Demonte jumps in, is taking quite a bit of damage from Azir. Just wants to clear this wave and is able to do so. So far, Fox Academy haven't been able to make any more moves onto Clutch Academy. They're playing very defensively, knowing where they have vision and that a LeBlanc can come out of nowhere and really evaporate anyone. The teleport is coming in from Max Trobo, but he cancels it, as well as the cancel from Alarum. Moon jumps in onto the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw pops the stopwatch as the Jarvan ult comes in. It looks like Kog'Maw is going to be able to kill the Braum, and Moon is going to go down here soon too. Maybe Odd Orange actually falls to the Tristana. The Azir ult comes in, knocks away the Alistar, but Sun is extremely low. Demonte is going to look to chase this, but he is out of mana and can't actually pick up the kill. Overall, 1-for-1 trade, and I think that goes in favor of Clutch Gaming Academy, as they picked up the jungler for only losing their support.
Blue team's turret has
However,
been
since
destroyed.
Fox Academy was a little bit more healthy at the end of that fight, they're able to pick up a little bit in the jungle. But on the bottom side of the map, Max Trobo was able to pick up that turret as Alarum did go to join the fight. So that's the first turret going in favor of Clutch Gaming Academy. Kind of starting to even out that lead, 1 turret to 3. I believe the scaling is in favor of Clutch Gaming Academy. If Azir and Tristana can hit their power spikes, they're going to be in a very good place for team fights, as long as they can stay protected from the LeBlanc. And with Tristana picking up a kill in that last fight, that's going to help accelerate him towards her power spikes. She does already have 2.5 items, so she's at a pretty good place. The Azir's a little bit behind, only having the Nashor's Tooth and Haunting guys. So once he finishes up probably the Leandry's Torment and maybe a Void Staff, he's going to be in a very good spot. It's going to take him a little while still before he gets there, though. So before that happens, as long as Fox keeps making proactive moves and trying to find picks with the LeBlanc, they should be in a good position. They do have a lot of vision around the Baron area, while Clutch Gaming Academy does not. However, Fox is not able to actually take advantage of this quite yet. They're not really pushing it. Another fight is going down here in the bottom lane. Max Trobo should be fine. He's trying to harass the Ornn, but again, hasn't worked out for him in the past. I'm surprised he's still trying to do this. Throws down the Vladimir ult, uses his pull a little early, has to flash away from the Ornn ult coming out. Alarum goes in, he's unstoppable, he's taking the damage to Max Trobo. Demonte's here, he's looking to pick up a kill for himself, uses the Gunblade, and now the LeBlanc has picked up her first kill of the game, as Alarum goes 3-1 and 2. Another dragon has spawned on the map, and it looks like that's where Fox Academy is looking to go next. Pick up the second Mountain Drake for themselves, and they'll really be able to rush down this Baron as soon as they have an advantage. I think the time would have been for them to start Baron there, however, since it was a 4v5 on the map. However, they're going to just take the safer objective in the Dragon, knowing that they can take that one basically for free without having to worry about the team fight coming in on the side of Clutch Gaming Academy.
The order is given.
Fox does not have much vision in the jungle above the Baron pit, so it's a little scary for them to start the Baron. I expect that to be their next place of focus, is this jungle. Try to clear out the vision and put down their own so that they can look for picks as people try to check the Baron. Moon does jump out of the bush onto Demonte. Sun is here as well. Looks like the root comes down onto both of them. Demonte pops his stopwatch. It looks like he's going to go down. The teleport comes in from Alarum. And Demonte looks... Oh, no, Demonte is going down to the Azir. Damage is here from Eclipse. They're able to take down Jarvan. And it looks like Fox got outmanned on the map. Before, they were making such good map movements where they had more people here. But this time, Clutch Gaming Academy was able to make the proactive move and put more people in this top lane. They were able to take a 2-for-0 fight, and it looks like they might actually be the ones to start the Baron here. They're trying to sweep out vision. make sure that they can't be surprised from this Kog'Maw and Alistar engaging onto them. Doesn't look like they're going to pick up anything besides those 2 kills though. So overall, not a huge loss for Fox Academy. Just losing a little bit of time out on the map, a little bit of pressure, but since the Dragon's not up and Clutch Gaming weren't able to pick up that turret, Fox Academy didn't lose really anything for that pick. Really good for Clutch, though, in order to start pulling themselves back into this game to get some extra gold for themselves. Tristana picked up a couple kills, or she picked up 1 more kill in that fight, and it looks like Fox Academy is starting this Baron. However, everyone is alive on the side of Clutch Academy, so this is a scary proposition for Fox. Papa Chow does jump in, and he's got the Ornn ult going, and it looks like Moon is going to go down as he jumps in to try and steal that Baron. It was actually as secure by Papa Chow and the Alistar, but now Lost is going in. He's picked up a double kill, he's picked up a triple kill. Looks like he's going to get the quadra kill for this Kog'Maw. On the other side of the map, Max Trobo does take out the Jarvan, but he goes down to the Alistar as it's an ace for Fox Academy. Able to force that Baron fight even though they didn't have vision on the backside. They just decided to rush this Baron in a risky move. Moon was able to jump in and almost get the smite secure. But Fox Academy was able to pick up the fight in the end, and it looks like that might actually close out the game. There's still 10 seconds left on pretty much everyone on the side of Clutch Academy, but it looks like Fox is going to go back, spend some of this gold that they picked up. This Kog'Maw is huge, sitting on already 3 items. He's going to be able to do just massive amounts of damage in these team fights as they continue to go. Alarum too is absolutely huge on this Ornn, and it looks like he's going to pick up this turret here in the bottom lane, which only leaves just a few turrets on the map for Clutch to defend. That was an incredible play by Fox Academy, a little bit risky, but they knew that if they didn't pull the trigger soon, they were going to get outscaled. So very good on them to make that decisive call, start the Baron, and take that team fight. It looks like now Kog'Maw has picked up this Guardian Angel, so Moon is going to be even less effective than he was before on this Rengar. Kog'Maw goes down to grab the red buff, and as well as having the Guardian Angel and the Frozen Mallet, there's nothing that Rengar can do really against this Kog'Maw, so he's going to have a hard time getting anyone. I didn't touch on this before, but it looks like Jarvan has gone damage Jarvan, taking up the Warrior's Enchantment as well as the Black Cleaver and now the Guardian Angel for himself. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage getting into the back line of this team. It makes sense because there are no real tanks on the side of Clutch Academy, so Jarvan can have a field day, basically jumping onto anyone that he wants to. And it looks like Fox Academy is using their Baron buff now to push down this last outer turret in the top lane. They do have quite a bit of minions there, as well as the Banner of Command enhanced siege minion. So we'll see if Clutch Academy is going to be able to hold out this wave or not. Looks like they're coming in from behind. Max Trollo pops the Ghost, but he gets jumped on by the Jarvan. He's able to get the Hemoplague onto Kog'Maw, but now Kog'Maw can just basically kill Max Trobo for free. Max Trobo is able to flash out, but Alderum is there on the backside, picking up another kill onto this Vladimir. 4-1 and 4 onto Ornn now, as Damonte jumps in onto Tristana and just deletes her in one shot. She does not have the same options as Kog'Maw to build defensively. The ult comes out from Ornn, but is blocked finally by the Braum. Another kill comes in for Lost as he goes legendary on this Kog'Maw. And Alistar is basically just laughing people off as he taunts in their face underneath the fountain. The final kills are coming through for Fox Academy as they shut out this game. 18-6 in favor of Fox Academy. The entire game going in their favor. Well played to them. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at these post-game stats real quick. The goal graph pretty much shows the story of the entire game. Fox Academy was able to pick up an early lead. They got a couple kills in the beginning of the game, with Ornn getting that solo kill onto Vladimir, having that pressure in order to take the dragon after that. And they were able to just really keep their pressure building. There were a couple more picks and Ornn was able to kill Vladimir a couple more times. It was really just a clean game out of Fox Academy. They did have a small fumble at this team fight here around, I believe that was Baron, and they lost a little bit. But again, Golden or Clutch Gaming was unable to really pick up any advantage from that. And Fox Academy knew that they could take a fight afterwards before they got outscaled by the Tristana and Azir. Demonte doing insane amounts of burst onto both of those carries. Really started this game off going well for Fox Academy. They were able to take their advantage and just snowball into a lead for themselves. So, although Demonte did not have the cleanest scoreline, I think he was probably one of the most influential players in this game, along with Alarim, just able to not be pressured by the Vladimir. Pax Trobo is just not able to get anything done on that pick, and Alarim was able to bully him around, getting a couple of solo kills. Looking at the stats, total damage to champions, yeah, Alarim had nearly as much as that Kog'Maw, and that Kog'Maw was 8, 0, and 3. Kog'Maw put out insane amounts of damage during those team fights, and Alarim was able to put the pressure on there so that they always had advantages starting out those team fights, as well as Demonte chunking people out before. Odd Orange going damage, he was able to get into the backline and make sure that they couldn't touch LeBlanc or the Ornn during the fights. Overall, just a great game from Fox Academy. Really clean game. Able to know where to pressure and what to do when they got the chunks onto the Azir in order to pick up the turrets. That's going to close it out for this game. Thank you for watching, and check out my YouTube for more videos. Thanks.